the RNC just wants it to be about Trump. And so I think there's that dynamic of Trump victory still is happening because Trump hasn't conceded. Trump victory is the RNC. So you can't have this lawyer who's accusing Republicans of wrongdoing. I think that's really what it came down to.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, oh, she's not with us, even though she really is.
Yeah, I mean, and she was Michael Flynn's attorney, and Michael Flynn is calling. I don't know. Do you think this is real martial law that he's trying to call for, or like fake martial law? It says limited martial law, and you should temporarily suspend the Constitution to hold a national revote. Do you know that? Do you know that they're calling for that?
I heard about it.
Yeah. What do you think about that, man?
Well, I mean, I personally think we should scrap the Constitution, but
yeah,
I'm a reactionary right-wing nut, so you know.
I mean, not really. I don't think you are. If you are, then I am. I mean, it's been defunct for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I mean,
more than 100 years.
I think it was basically a naive. I think the founding fathers were very naive in the way that they thought that the nature of power worked, which was based on flawed Enlightenment ideals. And I think that at this point, it's become very obvious to anyone that's honest and has with an IQ over 95. So I personally think that we should rethink how government should work. And it's at this point, it's either going to be authoritarian left or authoritarian right. Take your pick.
Yeah.
I know what side I'm on. I believe in a it's always going to be a religious institution that is or something acting as such that has the authority over the state. And we have that now. You mentioned before we went live, you were talking about the influence of professors, right? So they would be what's part of what we would call the cathedrals. So there's like literally a religious body that is pretending not to be religious, but they're pushing the progressive religion out of what used to be a Puritan seminary, which is now known as Harvard, and now it's the Progressive Seminary. And so the professors and the academic elites, they're like our bishops, and the media are the priests, and they call the shots. And that's basically what we're dealing with. We are dealing with a church that runs the state. The problem is it's a satanic church that hates Christians, and I would rather have something that doesn't pretend to be a democracy run by the people that's actually manipulated by oligarchs and academic elites. And I would just rather have like something like the Byzantine Empire had, where the church has the authority over the state, but the church, they act in symphonia. The emperor rules over the temporal, and the church rules over the spiritual, and they don't really overlap too much except on rare occasions. So yeah, that's what
Fascinating. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's fascinating.
Because we're just, otherwise all you get is just a deception that's pretending what we really have is a government that operates one way while pretending to operate the other way. And that's just how democracy and republics and popular governments have always throughout all of their short little, I mean, if you look at history broadly, of recorded history, we're really just a small blip. Even when you look back at ancient Greece's attempt at democracy, and the reason for that is because, it doesn't work. Like the reason why the majority of human history has been like some form of monarchy is because that's all that works efficiently. It's the most efficient form of government.
Wow. That's good stuff, man. That's a good rant. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm